Hello, I'm glad you can join us today. Yeah, we continue with our daily tax blocks. Today we are looking at calculating the income tax liability in the UK. We want to look at a pro forma for calculating income tax on non-savings income. As a recap, we have looked at sources of income. These are non-savings income. Example of non-savings incomes are your wages, salaries, rental income, etc. And then the other category is savings income. Examples are bank interest. And then we have dividend income. Today we want to look at taxes in the UK. Before we go on, let me just share my screen with you as always. Just bear with me. Okay, so we are looking at taxes in the United Kingdom. That's our topic for today. So the UK taxes include added tax, which is we call VAT. Yeah, we will go into detail later, but I just want to introduce that. So that's one of them. We have corporation tax. Corporation tax is corporation tax are taxes on the profit made by companies. Yeah, that is another type of tax. And we have income tax. These are taxes based on the profits or income of an individual. Yeah. And another tax that we want to look at is capital taxes. So capital taxes are also called capital gains tax. These are taxes levied when individuals sell assets and make a profit. These are called capital taxes. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one that we want to look at is inheritance tax. What is inheritance tax? It's simply a tax. Inheritance tax is a tax on the estate. When we say estate, what we mean by that is that the property, the income or possessions of someone who have died. Yeah. There's normally no inheritance tax to pay if one, either the value of the estate of the individual is below 325,000 threshold, or the individual has got estate, but they decide to leave everything which is above 325,000 threshold to their spouse, civil partner, charity, or a community amateur sport club. If the estate value is below the threshold of 325,000, you still have to file, report it to HMRC as one of the requirements. Yeah. So this is just an introductory. There's a lot in terms of inheritance tax, but I want to introduce it today. And like I said, if you follow us, you will learn a lot because we'll be going into detail, but we do a bit at a time. So let's go on to the next type of tax in the UK. The next one I want to look at is stamp taxes. Just bear with me. Okay. Stamp duty land taxes. What are stamp duty land taxes? This is paid when you buy a property or a land over a certain amount in England. So we will discuss this in detail later because there's some threshold that if the property is above that threshold, that is only when you pay the land taxes. But like I said, this is just an introductory to the UK taxes. Yeah. So then let's look at the next one. I want us to look at, we take one of the taxes, which is the income tax. And what I want us to look at is, let me look at the question. So there are the income tax, there are stages in calculating the income tax. And I want us to look at the stages of calculating the income tax. So just bear with me. So the first thing that we do, if I have a client come to me and I'm computing their income tax, like I said in my earlier video, I give them a checklist where they provide me with all the relevant information. And here I'll be able to gather all their sources of income. So I compute all their sources of income. That is the first step. And then the next step is what? I deduct all allowable deductions. So this is an introductory, but with time we'll go through all the allowable deductions. So that will be the next step I'll do. And then let's move on to the next one. So after you've taken out all the allowable deduction, what you get is the taxable income. Yeah, you get a taxable income. Let's move on to the next point. So with the taxable income, we apply the allowances. Individuals, we have personal allowances. That is the amount that you earn that you don't pay any tax. And for the tax year 2020-21, the allowance is 12,500. So when we get the taxable income, we net off the personal allowance. And then the final stage is we apply the tax rate to the net after we've taken out the personal allowance. So the next stage will be we just apply the tax rate to it. And after we've applied the tax rate to it, this income will be collected by HMRC under the self-assessment. So we apply the tax rate, and when we finish, we file it for the individual, and then HMRC, and then they will pay HMRC the tax which is due. Okay, let's move on. I have a question for you today, just something for you to think about. So bear with me. I'll put a question on the screen. Okay, my question is on the sources of income. Which of the following sources of income are exempt from income tax? One is interest on national savings. Is interest of national savings exempt or is it taxable? The next one is dividends from a foreign company. So when we receive dividend from a foreign company, is it exempt from tax or is taxable? The next one is a child's wages from a newspaper round. Children, sometimes they go around with their newspaper to distribute to others, and they get a bit of money. So is this income taxable or exempt from tax? The other one is income from national savings certificate. Is that taxable or exempt from income tax? And the other one I will talk about is housing benefits. Is housing benefit taxable or exempt from income tax? Then the final question would be state retirement pension. So state retirement pension, is it taxable or exempt from income tax? Yeah, so this is a question for you to think about. So what I want you to do is simply leave a comment. Yeah, leave a comment and state whether you can choose a number and just state whether it's just simply say taxable or exempt. Or you can send us an email. I will leave the email at the top of the video, on the summary video. The email is info@persontaxaccountant.co.uk, or you can inbox me directly, or you can go to our page and send us a message. We'll be very happy to hear from you. Okay. On this note, I want to thank you for making the time to join us today. Next, we'll be looking at a pro forma for calculating income tax. So I'll go a bit more into detail. So yeah, thank you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. I want you to share this video. My aim is to just continue to educate, just give you all these messages. You know, you may never know when you need it. So just keep following and keep sharing for others. I'm sure it will help others too. So thank you very much for making the time to join us today. Thank you.